What?
I don't think
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, everybody, we're going live stream now.
Yeah, that would be pretty pointless.
I think Jennifer needs to mute.
Andrea, can you send the amendments to Patrick?
Yes, yep, I will send them right now. Yes.
Are these additional amendments that we haven't seen yet?
Patrick's getting it now. These are okay, so welcome everybody to the Natural Resources Subcommittee. It's March 18th, 2022. We're going to start with House Bill 960. I see two hands up right away. Delegate Jacobs.
Yes. Have all these amendments been distributed? You've been talking about there's 4 different people. You say you're happy with the amendments. Have we got a copy of all 4 of those?
Jay, I don't believe we have gotten the final version of the amendments yet.
Because, you know, I mean, this thing got called so fast, I didn't get organized here. And you keep, you know, you're talking 4 different people about okay with the amendments that I don't have. And you know, I received several letters early February about people that were no longer being allowed with their forest mitigation banks after June 30th, 2024. And I'm trying to verify whether these amendments are going to fix this problem. I assume if Farm Bureau was in favor of it, it does, but I'm trying to verify where we are on this because I really don't have the amendments.
So you're asking Colby?
So on that question, I believe Andrea's amendment to separate this from the 2024 sunset addresses that. Am I correct?
Yes, thank you, Colby. Yeah, I was going to say, I believe the amendment that is coming from the Park and Planning Commission, would do that. So basically, as you know, the pieces from this bill would not be subject to the sunset provision because the concern is that qualified conservation, well, currently it ends June 30th of 2024. And the feeling is individuals would not be willing to place their land into a perpetual easement under this bill unless this bill is not subject to that sunset provision. So yes, it would allow this to continue, yes, and address that situation.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm back. Delegate Foley, Delegate Lyman, Delegate Ruth.
Yeah, I'm really not comfortable even discussing this without looking at these amendments. I can't follow what's going on here at all. So I think we need to look at these amendments, look at them side by side with the bill like we normally do, and then consider this. I know this is not a good for you, but I'm not going to vote on this without seeing these amendments and being able to look at them. I can't follow this discussion at all. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but.
No, you're not the only one. Delegate Lyman?
No, thank you, Delegate Foley. I feel the same way. I need to be able to see something in writing. And so it would be helpful, Mr. Chairman, if you could do a screen share the way we frequently do in housing and real property. I'd like to see this language and to be able to follow along with the conversation. Also, I would like to be able at some point to hear from Robin from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation as well. Is a screen sharing possible if you have, I assume you have these amendments on paper?
Only if somebody can. I cannot do that. If somebody can, then go ahead.
Well, Mr. Chair, can I
Delegate Ruth?
Yeah, could I speak also?
Yeah.
I also am uncomfortable with amendments that were submitted at the 11th hour that we have not seen and that the public has not had a chance to see or comment on. And, particularly you're talking about removing a sunset from a very carefully negotiated compromise. And so that concerns me.
I guess, Mr. Chairman, if I could address that, the amendment does not remove the sunset at all. The sunset is still in place. It's only with the specific piece that's related to this piece of legislation that we're referring to. And I know Kayleen Kafura from the Taraka Planning Commission is on here, and I know she may be able to go into more technical details and discussion on that, but we're not proposing at all to remove the sunset. That would stay in place.
The point is to subset this House Bill 960.
Yes.
I mean, to remove, to have not House.
Just
Not
for
have
the
960 sunset.
Right. Correct.
Patrick, have you gotten hold of the amendments yet?
I only have the ones that we got yesterday.
From Colby?
Yeah.
Andrea, have you sent them to Patrick?
Well, I got your email from just now, Andrea.
Okay, yeah, and that's the amendment language, section 3. That the
I think we want to wait till that gets out of the amendment office.
Mr.
Chair,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Delegate Ruth.
Can we hold this at least until later in this and move on with some of the bills that we can move quickly and come back to this? Maybe that'll give time to get the amendments.
Ooh, I doubt we're going to get enough time to get back to it, but you're right. We're not going to. We just want to know where we are before we move on, because we'll obviously have to meet again, and I think we'll be ready for 960. So if Andrea gets the Park and Planning Amendment to Patrick Tracy, Colby gets the Farm Bureau Amendment to Patrick Tracy, is there any other amendment that we need to know about?
I mean, CVF's original amendment was submitted long ago, so I believe you have that.
Right, and you're
Wasn't that incorporated in Colby's?
Excuse me?
Wasn't your amendment incorporated in Colby's?
Colby added to our amendment, yeah.
So
Our
it
amendment
covers you.
was submitted long ago, yeah, it is incorporated, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that's right. I think the amendment that, okay, we're going to hold it, but look.
Yeah, my amendment is just changing a few words to CBF's amendment. So yeah, ours
And
is
Robin,
right.
Robin, you're all right with it, right?
Correct, so after we submitted our amendment, the Farm Bureau modified it, and we are okay with that modification.
Okay. Are there any other amendments to 960 that we need to know about? All right. It's possible 960 will get out before crossover. We'll bring it up at another subcommittee meeting. Delegate Foley?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I didn't mean to have my hand up. I'm sorry.
Okay. Dana, do you know what time the next subcommittee's meeting?
2:15.
It's 2:15.
I'm sorry, Patrick, when's the subcommittee meeting?
2:15.
2:15. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go to House Bill 1216. Delegate Wells?
Yeah.
Your amendments were sent out, right?
Yeah, they were sent out yesterday. I can bring them up if you'd like. They were sent out yesterday.
Did you want me to chime in or Chris?
No, I'm bringing them up. I'm sorry, Delegate
Okay.
Wells.
I just
Sorry
wanted
about that.
no. I wanted to make sure I wasn't being
That you weren't just sitting there in silence waiting.
Yeah.
No, I should have had this up. I always have too many tabs up. So when I go to share my screen, I'm showing you all my whole life. Oh, I can't. I guess it's disabled to screen share. I'll just reply all. The amendments actually, they're pretty simple. A lot of them, the biggest part of the amendment is to address the mandatory funding provision. The bill came in with a funding provision for fiscal 2024 at 5 million. And the amendment language would change that to an appropriation of $250,000 over 5 years. So $250,000 each of those 5 years starting in 2024. And then the language is just altering, tweaking some of the membership language and making clarifying changes. So this is the urban grant program and urban ag grant fund. And so the bill came in altering the scope to apply to all urban areas rather than just Baltimore City.
Delegate Wells?
Yes. Sorry, I'm maneuvering. So, Chesapeake Bay Foundation and a host of others on those amendments. Many of the folks that testified at the bill hearing as well, we worked together to get those amendments and get the bill in good order. So I hope we can vote it out today.
Are there questions? Kristen, you said that the bill came in at 5 million. You meant 500,000 a year?
No, that you're thinking the infrastructure. So this bill came in with an appropriation of 5 million, but Delegate Wells has an amendment to change that to $250,000 for each of fiscal years 2024 through 2028.
Okay. And these amendments did go out. Are there any questions on these amendments?
I moved the amendments.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of the amendments say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the bill as amended, this is House Bill 1216. Any discussion on House Bill 1216? Delegate Wells, tell us a little bit about who you've worked with to get to this point in the bill.
Absolutely. So we'll work closely with Farm Bureau, Marbidco, Fair Farms Alliance, Chesapeake Bay Foundation. I don't think of who else was at the table. There was a lot of folks from Prince George's County, Montgomery County.
All right.
Move the
Steve
bill.
McHenry, do you have anything to say about it?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, this is a good bill. The amendments have been worked through with the stakeholders and we support it.
Colby, do you have anything to say about it?
No, it's a good bill. We're good with it.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All
Mr.
right,
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I have to take the roll.
because you have an urban farm.
That's right.
Our expert isn't allowed to talk. That's too bad. Okay. House Bill 1216 with the sponsor amendments passes. Let's go to House Bill 855. This bill was sent through the channels to get the fiscal note approved, and it was. This is Urban Agriculture, Water, and Power Grants, House Bill 855. Kristen, would you tell us about House Bill 855, please?
Sure. This bill is establishing the Urban Agriculture, Water, and Power Infrastructure Grant Program within MDA. And this is to provide grants to urban agricultural producers and qualified nonprofit organizations for the purchase and installation of agricultural equipment associated with water supply and irrigation and electric power access. There is mandated funding in the bill. It mandates funding from for each of fiscal 2024 through 2027 at a funding level of $500,000 for each of those fiscal years.
All right. And there are no amendments?
So we haven't received any official amendments. I know Colby had reached out to us to let us know that the Senate committee was reviewing the bill, and there was a discussion about whether the definition of urban area should be clarified.
Colby?
Yeah, there was a discussion within the committee. One of the senators brought that up and just asked, what does urban mean? And so there was some some worry that maybe, because it basically says that it's at the discretion of the department. So the thought was that you could clarify that, and I think the Senate is trying to possibly do that. That could obviously be added on as a friendly amendment if you wanted to keep this bill moving for crossover. But we did offer some language that I sent to Kristen just a little bit ago that it defines it based on the U.S. Census or U.S. Census or an incorporated municipality. So
that's how it was defined in House Bill 1216 by census.
Similar. It's there would need to be amendments probably to both if you were going to add a definition, just so that those that language aligns.
Delegate Ruth?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think, we should move it. And then if we need to add the amendment in committee or on the floor or whatever, because crossover is coming, we really can't, we need to keep these things moving, and there's no unfavorable testimony.
Yeah, and I'll definitely communicate with my Senate counterpart. There are, well, I know for 855, yeah, there's a cross file.
All right, and we can always, Delegate Jacobs.
And you say this appropriation has been approved for $500,000 a year for 5 years? Is that what it is?
It's covered in the House Bill 727, which was the Outdoors Act bill. I think the Senate version is moved and is over in your committee now. And it actually put that.
Colby, we probably need to hear from Kristen on this.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Colby, I thank you though, because I wasn't aware that it was in a Senate bill, but we did receive approval from the House leadership to move this bill, and it's I think it's a 3-year. I picked up the wrong bill. So that would be 2024 through 2027, so 4-year operation.
Thank you.
But Colby, so you said it's in what Senate bill, Colby?
The Senate cross file to House Bill 727, which is the one that has already passed the Senate, is in your committee now. It has a section in there that defines the urban agriculture, water, and power infrastructure at $2 million.
Okay, that's good news. So that bill, okay, that's very good news.
That's Senate Bill 541. So I'll communicate with Patrick about that too, just to make sure, everything matches up.
So
move the bill.
Second.
Any just more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that one, House Bill 855.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I have to take the roll on this bill too.
We like a citizen legislature to not let people talk. So we passed 855 without amendments, but Kristen and Patrick are checking with the Senate, and we may have a discrepancy because of what the Senate is doing. So it may be that we end up working off the Senate bill in the end, but for now, we'll move it out of subcommittee and figure it out from there, if that's all right with everybody. All right, could we go to House Bill 749? We had this bill in subcommittee before, and we Calvert County wanted to be amended out, and we did that. And we brought the fiscal note down to $100,000. We did that. We have a letter from the delegations in Baltimore County and Anne Arundel County saying that they want to do this. This is not a local courtesy bill, everyone. It's not local courtesy. It's an issue of whether the county is willing to work with the State Department on the Park Explorers program. And we have a letter from Anne Arundel and Baltimore County saying yes. Kristen, would you please just go quickly over the bill, please?
Sure. And, similar to how you explained, it's establishing the Maryland Park Explorers Grant Pilot Program in DNR, which would provide Anne Arundel and Baltimore counties with equal funds to establish local park explorers pilot programs. So the appropriation to this fund would be $100,000 to be shared in equal parts. And this is a program to target youth populations with minimal access to green space in an effort to bridge socioeconomic and resource gaps through free, accessible, and conveniently located programming and promote the positive impacts, spending time outdoors, et cetera. And this is 2024 through 2026 funds would be appropriated to this pilot program. And I believe there's a sunset provision on the bill. Wait a minute, let me look. That might have been a different bill. Hold on. I'm so sorry.
There is just 3 years of funding.
There's 3 years of funding. I think the pilot program had a sunset, but yes, there is a sunset provision on the pilot program.
Delegate Ruth.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And I just wanted to say Baltimore County loves this bill. The delegation voted, I believe, unanimously for this bill, and most of the delegation actually wanted to be amended on as sponsored. So the Baltimore County delegation is really excited about it, and the Baltimore County government also. Thank you.
Delegate Lehman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had to get to the unmute button. Yeah, I think the bill is great. I have talked to the sponsor about it. One thing I had neglected to ask before now, and I'm just curious if anyone has any insight as to why the three counties, why were they chosen? Baltimore County is obvious, but I wonder about the other two, especially since Calvert asked to be taken off it. Because there are a number of other counties, I'm sure, that would be interested. I just wondered if anyone had any insight about how those were chosen.
I can't speak to how the counties were chosen, the other two counties. I know that Calvert's Park and Rec representative is, I believe, the head of the committee at MACO on Parks and Rec. And in passing, she had mentioned it to the commissioners. But when they became aware of what it was involved, and they're having a tremendous amount of problems hiring part-time help for the summer. We had a jobs fair the other day for a part-time summer and full-time summer employees, and we need 150, and we had 6 show up. So having trouble with lifeguards and all that, and they just felt that it just wasn't something that was necessarily that urgent for the county with as much open space and parks and stuff that we do have, that to add that to their plate when they were having trouble filling the other programs.
Thank you, Delegate Clark. That makes sense. What does Kristen, or does anyone have any insight about Anne Arundel?
I didn't receive any information on that.
Okay, but they're aware of it, I assume. I mean,
well, yes, we received a letter. The delegation took it up.
Okay.
The delegation supports it.
Yeah, I'm in the Anne Arundel delegation. I don't ever, maybe I missed the discussion on it, but okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Delegate Ruth.
I understand that the Anne Arundel delegation voted, I was told unanimously, but if Delegate Lehman would.
I don't think I did, but I would have, but I don't even recall a discussion, and it did sort of throw me off the fact that Calvert asked to be taken off of it. I just thought that seemed a little odd.
And it is regarding other counties, it is a pilot, right? So assuming, depending on how the pilot goes, it could be added for other counties in the future, Kristen?
Right.
Sure.
It is a pilot.
That would be through legislation, but.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you.
It is a pilot with only 3 years of funding. It's at $100,000, and And it's a real question about whether this will work. It'll be kind of a new structure with natural resources in the counties, but these two counties are willing to give it a try for 3 years. Any more discussion on the bill? Delegate Lehman, then Delegate Foley.
No, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I move the bill.
Second,
All those in favor of House Bill 749, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
So I'm sorry, this was on the amended bill. The amendments were adopted at the last meeting.
That's right. We did the amendments last time to take care of Jerry Clark. Okay. House Bill 749 with amendments. Kristen, do we have any other of your bills on this agenda?
I think you got them all. We're good for me.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you all.
What time's the next subcommittee meeting?
I think 2:15 motor vehicles. So that's Patrick.
That's Patrick. Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to sit in if you wanted to continue with his bills, but
Well, thank you, Kristen. We'll forge ahead right now. Thank you, Kristen.
sure, I'll be listening.
Let's go to House Bill 1300. This is the Ocean City beach structure bill that the city of Ocean City testified in favor of, and the DNR letter of information said that they were approached back in 2017. And it's targeted at the life-saving, being able to improve and expand the life-saving museum in Ocean City. There was no opposition. Do we have any discussion on?
Move the bill.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Patrick, anything about this bill we should look at?
Forward.
Okay, and there is a Senate bill of some kind, but it's not a cross file, did you say?
You know what? This does not have a cross file. His senator does have a bill in that she amended to be kind of like this, but they're really kind of messy and all over the place. They're not the same. I think they have most of the same, if not all of the same provisions, but they're all worded differently, organized differently. We're going to have to just work at the staff level and try to get the language coordinated.
Well, we don't want to have a conference committee if we don't have to. but
Absolutely.
We're not in danger of that right now.
No, we got plenty of time.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 1300, that's a straight favorable. Let's go to House Bill 1140, the Voluntary Firewood Certification Program. Patrick, is this your bill, Patrick?
Yes.
Patrick, can you tell us about this bill, please?
Well, just the federal program that they ended. So now for our firewood exporters to be able to, produce and sell out of state, there's no way for them to get certification. Other states do have certification, and this just sets up the certification process and authorizes them to get certified. It's no requirements in the bill or anything.
I don't see any opposition in the file. Delegate Otto, I saw your hand.
I was going to move favorable if I could, Mr. Chairman.
And I was going to
think it's a
second.
pretty clean bill, and it's fixing a problem that has been created by no intentions of others either. But
And I was going to second it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
And for the record, that Senate bill is on third reader over there clean.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Let's go to House Bill 1279. Patrick, can you tell us what's in House Bill 1279, please?
Well, we had the Prince George's bill yesterday with the 50-foot archery hunting safety zone. This puts that safe statewide and Sunday hunting statewide.
Move unfavorable.
Second.
Second.
Second,
Patrick, this bill would put, did you say 50 yards statewide?
Yeah.
Does it affect the times of hunting? It's just the 50-yard issue?
No 50-yard and Sunday hunting.
And it would approve Sunday hunting in every county,
Yes,
including Baltimore City?
yes.
Well, that's interesting. I'm sorry, we had a motion and a second unfavorable.
Unfavorable, yes, sir.
yes.
Any, Paul Pedito, I see you out there.
I'm just listening on this one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, very good. Delegate Foley.
Yes, I mean, we spend a lot of time on hunting bills in this subcommittee and in the ENT committee. And this bill would basically wipe out all the work that we've been doing because it would authorize Sunday hunting in all of the counties. I just don't think that it's viable or that it's and certainly I can't support it. So I would recommend that we vote it out unfavorable.
All right, we have an unfavorable motion and a second on the floor. So if you say yes, you are voting against this bill. All those in favor of the unfavorable?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, that bill gets soundly rejected. We are, in a situation where we're going county by county and we're allowing locals to control. And okay, there's one bill left on our agenda. It's House Bill 1386, black bear hunting. Patrick, would you please tell us about this bill?
Well, we have a black bear hunt. It's by regulation. This bill, which I don't seem to have in my thing, go by memory. It sets up a black bear hunt. I mean, it limits the black bear hunt. The biggest thing it does to me is that it allows, it seems to be unlimited black bear hunting on private property. And it sets up a lottery, which already exists. It authorizes the department to set up seasons, which they already do. And then I told you about the private property provision, and it also prohibits the person from coming back if they got a permit the previous year. And I think there's something like that in the current law, whether it's you get a permit or if you shoot a bear, you have to wait a year or something like that. Paul, is that right?
Correct, Patrick. It does a number of things that are problematic as far as we're concerned. The bear hunt is, I would argue, hyper conservative in terms of the application of the lottery and the number of permits. And this would substantially open the door. And I would suggest it probably sets up a constitutional problem in that it restricts non-residents from participating without a rational basis.
Paul, thank you so much for being here. I see 3 hands up. Let me warn everyone, we were just about out of time, but Delegate Stein, Lehman, and Ruth, please.
Move unfavorable.
Second.
Motion's unfavorable. So a yes kills the bill. All those in favor of the unfavorable say aye.
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 Any opposed? Well, we did really good work for a meeting that we didn't think would start till 3 minutes ago. But I really appreciate everyone. Crossover week and Sine Die week is like this. Dana, am I right?
Indeed.
Eric Galley, am I right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, everybody, enjoy your next meetings. Have a good day. And we'll get back to 960 when we can.
You too. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, bye, everybody.
You.